there, Devin Slovensky with Slovensky Divorce and Family Law. I want to talk to you today about the timelines for divorce and how different kinds of divorces can impact your timeline. So divorce can be difficult and time-consuming. However, if the parties agree on terms, you can avoid litigation and move the case forward a little bit more quickly. But remember, reaching an agreement is crucial. So disagreements, although they can add more steps and time to the process, it's critical that you're patient when you're trying to work through your divorce settlement. Even if you're pursuing a no-fault divorce settlement, taking the time to ensure favorable terms is essential. Patience leads to better outcomes. Don't rush your divorce. Consider your assets, children, and potential spousal support obligations or potential spousal support income carefully. So now let's look at the different timelines for divorce in Virginia and how long these different types of divorces can take. So there's a default divorce, and that may be applicable if there are no assets, no custody schedule that needs to be dealt with, no debts to divide, and no spousal support being requested. If we file your divorce and your spouse doesn't answer within 21 days and there's nothing to be divided, we can ask a judge to finalize your divorce after that 21-day period. Sometimes these divorces are done within 45 days, but they're very rare. Another type of divorce is the uncontested divorce. And this is where both parties agree on all terms and a marital settlement agreement is going to be filed with the court. You're eligible to do this if you've been separated for 6 months and you have a separation agreement and you don't have any children, or if you have children after you've been separated for 1 full year. Our record for a case like this is 7 days, but a more typical timeline is about 60 days after we're able to file the divorce, meaning after you hit the 6-month mark or the 1-year mark. The third type of divorce is a contested divorce, and this is where there's some disagreement about all issues or at least one issue. And this is where a case may go to trial and have a judge ultimately render a decision in the case. These cases can take over a year and sometimes in rare cases take multiple years to resolve. So let's talk about the timeline and how that works for uncontested divorces. Once you've reached the eligible filing period, either 6 months or 1 year, then we'll file the divorce with the court. We'll also submit with that court an affidavit that you've signed that indicates that you've been separated for the required amount of time under Virginia law. We'll submit a divorce decree to the court and then we'll wait for the judge to sign it. Once the judge signs the divorce decree, then you're done. You may also have some assets that need to be divided, like you may need a deed that's signed or some retirement assets divided, and those normally happen after the divorce decree is signed. There's no reason you can't get your separation agreement signed well before the 6-month mark or the 1-year mark, so don't let that confuse you. For contested divorces, the timeline looks like this. One spouse will file a divorce complaint against the other spouse. The other spouse has 21 days to respond to that and perhaps file a counterclaim. The first spouse has 21 days to respond to that counterclaim. In the meantime, a temporary orders hearing may be set, and that's where the judge is going to enter an order that says who pays how much spousal support, what bills are paid, by whom in the meantime, what's the custody schedule, and can you spend down marital debts or not while this process is pending? The answer is normally no. Then the parties will go through a process called discovery. Eventually, once enough information is exchanged, the case will be set for trial. This is normally 1 year after separation or later. The attorneys are going to present their cases, call witnesses, and submit documents to the judge at the final trial. The judge will finally issue a divorce order, and that can take several weeks or months for the judge to enter. After that process, you still may have to divide assets by listing the home for sale or getting a special order to divide retirement assets. If you're not sure what kind of timeline you're on for your divorce, give us a call and let us figure out exactly where you fit into this picture and how we can help.